So in this final slide of the first lesson, right, it basically summarizes the 4 points that will help you understand why we're discussing certain things throughout the course. So reducing lead time is always good. Reducing variability is always good. Reducing waste is always good. Finally, reducing uncertainty is always good. Okay, and of course, increasing each of them is no good, right? Sometimes it's always bad. But now all these 4 points are over and above the waste that we talk about, because this one part here says reducing waste, right? So we talk about waste from the three sources: heaven, human, humus, and consisting of visible and invisible. The visible ones will be the raw goods and materials. The invisible ones will be the time of our customers, of our workers, and our very expensive machines. We don't want them to idle. So reducing them will be good, and reducing waste. That is what we started off with, right? And we also wanted to talk about reducing the lead time. Lead time is one of those times, so invisible, right? So reducing lead time is basically allowing us to have more customers in a way, because when we have lead time, when we have long lead time, we will have liability during the lead time. Because what is lead time? Lead time is the time from when an order is given by our customer. We are the business. Customer gives us order, tick tock, time starts, right? And the lead time is complete when we complete our shipment to the customer or we finish the service. So imagine you step into a hair salon and it's full of people and you have to wait, right? The moment you step into hair salon to want to do your hair cut or color or wash or whatnot, right? You already want them, right? You already budgeted the money to give to the shop. But you have to have long wait when you ask, how long am I supposed to wait? Maybe 2 hours. What? Right. So the long lead time before you get your chance to be served, and finally pay the money, because now it's finally done. Now, if there's long lead time, would that encourage you to uh, abandon ship, right? Like go to another shop? Sure, why not, right? Because if you can't wait and you're not there to wait, to waste your time. So the lead time can become a competitive advantage. That's what they say in MBA, right? Competitive as in, why should the customer come to you? Oh, because I have short lead time. You come in right away, we serve you. And we do have, in a very professional manner, very quickly. Other shops take 60 minutes or whatnot to perm the hair. We imported from Japan this super duper color shampoo, whatnot. Color and shampoo and wash right away. Whatever is this? I'm saying technology can help that, right? So from coming in till you're done happily paying and going out, it's just, let's say, 20 minutes. Wow, right? You will be blown away, isn't it? Yeah. So you will always come back. Whereas the other one that asks you to wait for 2 hours, thank you very much. This time I didn't know there's a trap. I suffer, fine. You cannot go out, fine. Okay, but next time I definitely won't come back. You will have lost my business forever, right? So that's reducing lead time. Reducing lead time is always good. Always good. Remember this, right? There's no case where you say reducing lead time is bad. And just now when I said this competitor shop trying to say I have a short lead time, so come to me, right? And I brought in this Japanese technology that does everything in short time. So you typically need technology, typically these days, right? To reduce any timing, you typically, I'm not saying it's a solution for everything, and the technology that I'm talking about differs from case to case. So, but then without use of technology or something special, something totally different, non-human, it's very hard to imagine reducing any time, and especially lead time. Because what is lead time? Supplier gives you a lead time. Supplier gives you a lead time. As customer, you cannot demand for a short lead time. Why? Because supplier says how long to wait. They say 2 hours. Why would they purposely wait, say a large number? Oh, you have to wait for 20 hours. Why would they say a large number purposely to scare you off? So you need to understand that supplier, they are very strongly motivated to give you a short lead time. But despite their eager intention to give you as short a lead time as possible without conning you, right? Without giving you a false hope, they cannot cut it to too short. So that's why after giving some estimates, the shop person might say 2 hours, might say 1 hour, right? Might say fastest is probably 1.5 hours, something like that, right? So they would not want to oversell or undersell. They will give you the best, shortest lead time that they can give. So already it's very short based on the current way of doing things that they have on the status quo. So without making some fundamental change, typically with the aid of technology, you cannot shorten the lead time drastically, right? Because can they hire a faster hairstylist? You know, it may not be good. Yeah. Of course, he or she can be skilled, but you know, if you do it very quickly, it may not end up with a very good outcome. Same thing goes for businesses, right? So if they hire workers that can move faster, carry more load per trip or whatnot, doesn't mean they can drastically reduce the lead time. So if they want to really improve, reduce significantly the lead time, it's no good to be just 1% shorter, 5% shorter. You have to have like 10x, right? You have drastically shorter lead time. You need to include the use of some technology, like rapid drying, rapid this, rapid that, right? So that's why these kind of appliances or technology they sell well, because they reduce the time. So we talked about waste, we talked about reducing lead time, right? You have to talk about variability, and usually that ties in with uncertainty. High variability implies difficulty in forecasting, in prediction, in preparing for the future. Why do businesses want to prepare for the future? Because I want to know you, the customer, would you want a high volume or low volume? So if I can predict your taste, right, and your quantity, then I can prepare, because I need to have lead time, right? I need to set up, produce, and also buy materials. It's a bit like if you invite guests to your, you send out invitations, right, to your guests. Maybe it's for your wedding or your graduation. Okay, so let's say graduation. Your parents want you to hold a invitation for dinner. So you send out, invitation cards to 100 friends and family relatives. And that's it. You didn't hear from any of them. And would they definitely come? Not sure. So how many, you know, tables of food are you going to cater for? If it's buffet, then you have to estimate a number, right? Would you say 100? Would you say 50? What if 100 turns up? You order 100. What if 30 turn up? Then it's a lot of food waste, right? And suppose it's just not a good case. So reducing variability, no fluctuation, little to no fluctuation, allows suppliers to plan better, right? And therefore reduce waste, reduce inability to match the supply with demand. That's the whole idea, right? So forecast, we want to match supply with demand. If you have strong demand, we want to have large supply to match. But if we have insufficient supply, then there's a shortage. So customers will not be happy. If there is few customers, but we over prepare, then there'll be discarded items, and that's waste. So in reducing variability, we are also reducing waste, and we are more able to meet supply with demand. Okay? Now, uncertainty about the future demand is basically variability, right? But then this uncertainty is a little bit more. Rather than saying variability is if we really attach a statistics probability symbol to it, we will say variability is like the variance, sigma square, or sigma itself. Standard deviation measures variability. Uncertainty, I would include two things: the standard deviation and the probability. Okay, so two things: the standard deviation and the probability. So uncertainty is no good, right? We are not sure of the demand, and then we undercater or overcater. So that's no good. That's variability. Uncertainty is like, in addition to that, there is a probabilistic element. What is that? For example, you hold graduation dinner, for example, right? Would you hold it outdoor buffet style? Let's say the weather is good. Would you hold it outdoor buffet style near the beach, maybe? Right? Or would you hold it indoor, sit down style? Okay. Well, if the weather is uncertain, as announced by the weather station these days during your graduation time, it'll be a bit unwise to hold it outdoor, right? Subject to the weather, even though sunshine is good. Well, graduation ceremony, not ceremony, the dinner, uh, might not be so fitting. But suppose you are holding some sort of, I don't know, mass um, exercise, right? Then you can hold it outdoor because it feels more sunny, brighter, and also fitting the sports exercise context. So preference is to hold it outdoor. But if the weather is uncertain, it may rain, and then you have to cancel, right? Then what should we do? And that is less wise, right? So of course, there are many those huge outdoor event organizers, the Stand Chart marathon run, right? OCBC cycling and all this all require outdoor. So if you organize it in the months when Singapore tend to have higher rainfall, right? Rainy season, right? Then it's less wise. So you want to reduce uncertainty by trying to organize it during drier months of Singapore. We cannot stop the rain from coming. But if you organize it during drier months of Singapore, you are reducing the uncertainty, don't you think? Right? And there's no such thing as variability. It's just probability of rainfall coming during those days of your events. So I always tell my students, for example, during tests, you want to do things that increase your probability of success. In other words, reducing uncertainty, right? So for example, don't bring books and notes knowing that you are not going to look at them, even though it's open book, right? But you're not going to look at them. They clutter your table, right? And then you have less room to actually look at the very important lean notes that you have prepared. So do things that increase the probability of success is always good. Or another way, reducing uncertainty. So these four key terms will permeate throughout our course. And you shouldn't be surprised to find that time and again, one or even more of these terms will apply to our discussions and examples. Okay, with that, I'll go to see you in the next session of discussion on lean operations.